This is the skyline of Los Angeles, shrouded in smoke and fog, high temperatures, and nearby forest fires. This is the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, approximately 50,000 in attendance, and the temperature on everybody's mind, as well as the game involving the San Francisco 49ers and the Los Angeles Rams. The temperature high atop the peristyle end, about 100 degrees. I'm Vin Scully along with George Allen. George, can the 49ers use the heat to their advantage?
Yes, Vinny, I think they can. This is their biggest test. They've played 2 close ball games. The Rams are the best team they've faced to date. I think if they don't let the heat bother them, it's a plus for them. Anything that is against a team that's favored is a plus for the underdog.
Well, the San Francisco 49ers lost the toss of the coin, and that means that Wersching will be kicking off to Los Angeles, and the deep man is Drew Hill, number 87. On his left would be Elvis Peacock, and on his right, Jim Jodat. So Wersching gets his kickoff, and we're underway whether or not. And it'll be Drew Hill coming out of the goal line to the 10. And Saraceno pulls him down just short of the 15-yard line. So we'll take a look at the Rams as they will put it in play, 1st and 10 on their own 15. Pat Hayden at the quarter with Wendell Tyler and Cullen Bryant. Lauren McCutcheon is banged up, so Tyler his replacement. The boys who'll handle the football, Willie Miller, Ron Jesse, and the tight end Terry Nelson. Up front, France and Williams, Saul, Hara, and Slater. The fine offensive line of the Rams. The Rams have been troubled. They've scored only 1 offensive touchdown. That was in the first quarter against Oakland, a game they lost. Play action fake to Wendell Tyler, and the pass intercepted by Gerard Williams, and Williams is hit and goes out of bounds inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And George, there's a big break.
Well, you know, I just finished telling some 49ers that I like Gerard Williams. He played for me in Washington. He's a good athlete. He's got some size. I knew the Rams were going to come out throwing early. Big play. He almost scored on it. Let's watch. See if he goes out of bounds.
It was the big man who gave him the nudge there. Cullen Bryant came over to just get 1 foot out of bounds. Why would the Rams come out throwing on their own 13-yard line?
They feel the 49ers can't rush the passer, and they don't respect the 49ers secondary.
Well, we'll take a look now and see what Steve DeBerg does. 1st and 10 on the Ram 13-yard line, and it is O.J. Simpson trying to get outside, and O.J. is going to go out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Nolan Cromwell finally making the tackle.
Now, Benny, here's something right here. When you get this field position, you've got to come away with 7 points. You can't kick a field goal. Sure, you want the 3 points, but when you get this against a strong team like the Rams, you got to get a touchdown.
Bill Walsh employing O.J. on the first play. Simpson playing in his 3rd game here as a professional. He's never had a 100-yard game here. His highest rushing 83. He's in the backfield with number 40, Wilbur Jackson. So it's 2nd and 8 on the Ram 11. DeBerg to O.J. with Randy Cross blocking. O.J. out of bounds at the 5.5-yard line. And Randy Cross, number 51, leading the block. He's another boy from around these quarters. There goes O.J.
Well, they're running to the tight end side. Vinny, I don't think that they can run successfully against this Ram defense. I think their game plan is going to be run just enough to have the Rams worry about the run. They're going to have to throw, play action passes, and quick passes.
3rd and 2, the ball is on the Ram 5-yard line, and as George Allen just said, the 49ers want 7. They don't want to settle for a field goal. Francis is in there now with O.J., and it's Francis straight ahead inside the 5, down to about the 3-yard line, and it is very close as to whether he made the first down or not, depending upon where they stop it. The Rams, number 1 in the NFL in defense last year, and they certainly looked like the same kind of a club after the first 2 games. They held Oakland to 240 yards, and they limited Denver to 73 yards on the ground, and the 49ers didn't make it.
No, well, they're going to go for it, which is a good call. Going back on what we're talking about, come away with 7 points.
So it is 4th and 1 on the Ram 3, and Bill Walsh, who gambled early against Minnesota, gambled against Dallas, and now he is going against the hard noses of the Rams. Jackson and O.J., and it's O.J. fumbling in the end zone, a flag on the play, and Pat Thomas recovers it in the end zone, but let's wait about the flag. Offside is the preliminary signal against the Rams, I believe. So let's take a look and see if we can figure it out. From this angle, you can.
Usually what it is, Vinny, is somebody lines up offside. They're not charging offside. They line up prior to the snap offside.
So there's two big breaks.
Number 53 on the defense. First down.
There you got it, George. It's Jim Youngblood and Ray Malavasi disturbed now because it's a 1st and goal. The ball is on the Ram 2. So two big mistakes. First, the interception by Gerard Williams, and now the offside.
I like my backs to have 2 hands on the ball right in there. 2 hands on that football. No mistakes.
Francis and O.J. Play action fake to O.J. All alone, but he's out of the end zone is Bob Brewer, the tight end. Brewer just ran out of real estate down there.
They had him covered. He was covered. Here it is. Here's the play action pass again. DeBerg did the right thing. He actually threw the ball out of the end zone. So if it's intercepted, receiver had no chance.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 for San Francisco. Bill Walsh trying to come up with a touchdown. Gerard Williams intercepting a Pat Hayden pass for the first big break of the day. 2nd and goal from the 2, and it is Wilbur Jackson hit by Dave Elmendorf, and he crossed the plane of the goal line for a touchdown.
Oh, that was close. There was a kind of delayed call on that one.
You'll see Dave Elmendorf, 42, hit him, and here comes Wilbur Jackson. There's number 40. There's Elmendorf trying to keep him back.
Yeah.
Reynolds came up to hold him off, but he couldn't do it. Good play.
He kept driving and put it over.
Wilbur Jackson, who was the Rookie of the Year in the NFL, missed 1978 out with a knee injury, and he punches it over. So San Francisco leading 6-0. The hold out of Montana, the kick by Wershing. The spot, the kick. It is good.
Line drive kick.
13 minutes and 51 seconds left to go in the first quarter. San Francisco leading on a break, 7-0.
I got an invitation, but not in the mail. I grab my invitation every morning without fail. I'm shaving close and comfortable, on that you can bet, since I got an invitation from Gillette.
Now, for a limited time only, get the special edition Atra Invitation for less than $1.50. The same pivoting head and face-hugging action that made Atra Gillette's best shave.
At a buy now price. Atra Invitation from Gillette.
Welcome to our people-pleasing places.
Good luck.
Holiday Inn makes me feel like a winner. That's why my team chooses Holiday Inn. No surprises. Beds always comfortable, always. Big rooms. And there's a Holiday Inn hotel near just about everywhere we play. Well, let's go call them like we see them.
You have to see them to call them.
Holiday Inn is number 1 in people-pleasing.
And our thanks to the Rams and the Coliseum for the welcome. Now, as the 49ers, Ray Wershing tees it up at the 35 to kick off. Drew Hill, the little quick back from Georgia Tech, standing on the Ram 1-yard line. And the kick will carry to Drew Hill on the 2. To the 10, and buried. Oh, what a hit.
Was he hit?
The man who hit him is Schumann,
Yeah.
the linebacker. And did he ever deck him? That's Big Schumann, Ron Schumann out of Wichita State. Watch him get the lick in on Drew Hill right there.
Wonder he didn't fumble on that.
Hill's only 170
He did
and
fumble.
did fumble.
He did fumble, late fumble.
But the whistle called as soon as he was hit. So Hayden had it 1st and 10 on his own 15 and threw an interception. And the second time he has it 1st and 10 on the Ram 15. It took the 49ers 5 plays to go 13 yards and a little over a minute to score. Ron Jesse is wide right. Willie Miller is wide left. Terry Nelson, the tight end, on the right side. And here comes Wendell Tyler with Dennis Harrah leading. Dragged down by Scott Hilton, and there's a flag on the play. We'll take a look. San Francisco with Archie Reese, Ted Vincent, Jimmy Webb, and Cedric Hartman up front. They have not had much of a pass rush so far. The linebackers are Hilton, Buns, and Harper. At the corners, Charles Cornelius for the injured Melville Morgan, and that could be a dangerous experiment. Gerard Williams at the right corner already picked one off. Strong safety is Tim Gray, and the free safety, Tony Dungy. Now the call.
Holding by the defense, number 74, first down.
So holding charge against San Francisco, and an automatic first down. The Rams move the ball now to the 21-yard line. And Hayden brings them out with the 49ers leading 7-0. Miller left, Jesse right. The running backs are Cullen Bryant and Wendell Tyler. And here's Wendell Tyler, and he is hit head-on by Scott Hilton, and then Hardman hits him up high and brings him down.
Wendell, Vinny, is carrying that ball very carelessly. He has a tendency not to put the ball away. We might watch that as the game goes along. I always used to try to force him to put the ball in his armpit and his hand over the nose of the ball, but he waves it around. Look at there. See that? He doesn't have his nose over that ball.
And the all-time rusher in UCLA history picks up 2. So it's 2nd and 8 from the 23. Hayden to Tyler again, and Hilton has him at the ankle, slows him down as he falls across the 25-yard line. Wendell Tyler, coming off knee surgery. He was a 3rd-round draft choice in '77. And we said the all-time rusher out of UCLA. There's quite a local favor here.
Yes.
With Wendell Tyler, the ex-UCLA, OJ from SC, just to name a couple. So it is 3rd and 6. Figure Pat goes to the air, George.
He has to go to the air. They got their nickel personnel in on offense. Another wide receiver.
And they go slot left with Jesse inside Miller. Preston Denard is wide right. Hayden is looking over the middle. Scrambling, a flag on the play. Hayden throwing down the right side to Jesse, broken up by Tim Gray. But there's a flag on the play, back on the Ram 17-yard line. Ron Jesse was out in the open, but a holding penalty against the Rams, trying to buy time for Hayden.
That's what usually happens, Vinny, when a quarterback runs around. It's difficult for a lineman to block for him, and he has to end up holding them.
And by the way, not a bad rush by the defensive line.
That's
for the 49ers.
going to be interesting today. Good point.
Penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
Can the 49ers rush Hayden today? Going to be a big factor in this ball game.
So the Ram offense coming off, and Ken Clark out of St. Mary's in Nova Scotia. He spent 3 years in the Canadian League. He's averaged 38.5. He's had 1 blocked, and it cost him the game against Oakland. He'll be kicking from the 15 and angling it to the right side, and Freddie Solomon at the 35 to the 45, grabbed and knocked down at about the 48-yard line. Osteen made the first contact along with Eddie Brown.
Well, Vinny, his hang time on that kick was 3.2, a line drive. 49ers have great field position.
So with 12 minutes and 1 second left to go in the first quarter, the surprising 49ers lead the Rams 7-0.
If you suffer with athlete's foot, you should know what these students helped us confirm here at the University of New Mexico in a major clinical study. Proof that nothing is more effective than Desenex for treatment of athlete's foot. We used students with sore, itching athlete's foot to test Desenex against the 2 other leading brands. Results? Scientific evidence that short of a prescription, nothing is better than the medicines in Desenex. Nothing. So if you've got athlete's foot, don't blame Desenex.
Connie, what's this?
It's Bill's new antiperspirant.
Cute, but are you sure?
This spray helps keep you dry, but it goes on over 40% drier.
Hey, it does feel different. It's drier. Come on, what is it?
Take the label off and find out.
New Improve Sure. Terrific. Now I can start out feeling even drier.
Uh-huh. It's a whole new feeling of dryness.
You can say that again.
It's a whole new feeling of dryness.
Try new Improved Sure. It's a whole new feeling of dryness. Wednesday, Susan St. James and Mike Farrell in a comedy movie about single parents and their search for that new perfect relationship. Sex and the Single Parent at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
Hollywood disappearing in the smoke. The fire in the Angeles forest way off to the right, shrouding the city. It is 1st and 10, 49ers on their own 48-yard line with Schumann on a wing right and now in motion. Freddie Solomon is over on the left side anyway. And here goes O.J. out into Ram territory, brought down at the 47-yard line. So O.J. brought down by Jack Reynolds.
Well, that's a quick hitting play. We call it a swipe trap with motion. O.J. going straight ahead. That's the way to run against the Ram defense. They're so mobile, you aren't going to sweep them.
Bob Farrell put a pretty good block on Jack Reynolds, but Reynolds slid off the block and made the tackle. 2nd and 5 on the Ram 47. Schumann right, Brewer a tight end along with Paul Seals. DeBerg gonna put it up, going down the right side to Schumann, who is hit inside the 40-yard line and knocked back. Pat Thomas coming up to hit him, and so they'll pick up a first down to keep it moving.
A good call because it's a quick pass. DeBerg sets up, watch him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 short steps, difficult to rush, and a stop pattern, a hook pattern, which is difficult to defend. Good football, good offensive football.
1st and 10 on the Ram 38-yard line, and the 49ers trying to pick up some more points. Here goes O.J. trying to get inside, spins across the 35, and falls down to the 32-yard line. O.J. returning to the Coliseum, and we can also duck in a few final scores. The Jets bouncing back from the licking last week, knock off Detroit 31-10. And Philadelphia defeating New Orleans 26-14, a final. New England beat Cincinnati 20-14. Tough game coming off the one-sided game they played last week. So it is 2nd down, 2nd and 5. The ball on the 33, and it's Wilbur Jackson inside the 30, and he might have a first down. If not, he's only inches short of it.
They had 2 tight ends there, which gives the defense another gap to fill, and they're attacking them straight ahead. Double teaming Youngblood. And Jackson, watch Jackson's leg drive here. Now watch him keep going, keep driving. Good offensive football.
They're going to have to measure and give us time to say this telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or the use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. It'll be 3rd down and really inches for a first down, and a very big play now for Bill Walsh and the young 49er club to keep it going. They're leading 7-0. Simpson and Jackson, the running backs. O.J. Simpson trying to go wide, cuts back, and runs into a team picture of the Rams. That didn't appear to be a good call,
I almost
George.
said straight ahead. I didn't get a chance because you were talking. Straight ahead, straight ahead. Inches to go, straight ahead. Don't go wide.
Yeah, O.J. started to go wide. Elmendorf was fighting Randy Cross's block, so then he went the other way, and Slater went out of the way, but here comes Thomas and then Reynolds and half the Ram team.
That was a bad call.
So a bad play for the 49ers. Ray Wershing, with the line of scrimmage on the 29, will be asked to kick a field goal. By the way, Cleveland has just beaten Baltimore 13-10. They had to come from behind to do it. Wershing last year was only 50% for 30 yards or more. This year he's kicked 5 out of 7 already. The hold is from the 37. It's a play fake kick, and the pass is caught by Francis, and Francis is pushed out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And let's see, are they ruling it a catch? And if they are, it's a first down. Francis, who was the #1 receiver in the nation, he missed 4 games with a bad ankle, and Joe Montana came out of the hole, the Notre Dame quarterback. Montana, number 16. Watch this. Wershing's fake.
It's a pretty good call. Francis made a heck of a play there.
The question now is, did he catch it in or out of bounds? And the discussion continues.
They shouldn't have to take that long to make a decision on that.
Can we take another look at that catch while they're discussing? There he is. Now watch, his feet are there. He's caught it. Now he's going out of bounds. So evidently They will allow the catch, although the officials are still quite a huddle.
Usually when it's 4th and 1, we want the runner to, the holder, to run with it rather than throw the ball. But the Rams defensed it properly. He had to throw it.
It's a first down. So out of the fake field goal, Montana passing to Phil Francis. There's the catch, both feet in ground. And just for the moment before he fell forward like tipping over a statue, Rod Perry pushed him out of bounds. And, of course, that really was the interpretation of the rule.
Could have been called either way. Very close call.
So it is 1st and 10 on the Ram 21-yard line. And Steve DeBerg has his team on the move. Lenville Elliott is in there now with Wilbur Jackson. Elliott in motion to the right. Shooting up is Jack Reynolds. The pass to Schumann is broken up. The middle linebacker, Jack Reynolds, was coming on a dog, and it was a fine defensive play. Mike Schumann taken out by Pat Thomas.
Yeah. I tell you, DeBerg was rushed. He did a good job getting that ball off, and he threw it accurately.
Jack Reynolds coming in the middle really gave him a hit and knocked him flat.
Clobbered his right arm.
Pat Thomas, who last year had 8 interceptions, including 1 for a touchdown against the Giants. Great cornerback for the Rams, number 27. In an overtime game, Denver shaded Atlanta 20-17. 2nd and 10 on the Ram 21. DeBerg throws it over the intended receiver, Freddie Solomon. Solomon standing on the 13-yard line, and Jim Youngblood was there. So Steve DeBerg now has a 3rd and 10 on the 21.
See, when you throw on 1st down, then you got to throw on 2nd down. And I thought they're moving the ball pretty good on the ground, mixing it up, and they're getting closer, so Wershing doesn't have to kick a long field goal.
You know, Steve DeBerg came into the game leading the NFC with a 64% completion percentage. Last year, he ranked 13th out of 14 passes. Big challenge now. 3rd and 10 from the 21 of the Rams.
Nickel defense for the Rams.
Jackson comes up. O.J. is deep. O.J. on a draw. And O.J. inside the 15-yard line. But he still had another 4 yards to go for a first down. So Ray Wershing is getting ready to come in for the field goal.
That was an audible, Vinny. They read the dog. The Rams dog blitz. They audibleized. Good call.
So the ball on the Ram 15-yard line where it is 4th and 4. And Ray Wershing, who had that fake field goal attempt that eventually went for the first down, will now try to kick it. He's 5 out of 7. His longest is 44. The spot will be at the 22, so it'll be a 32-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So with 8 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the San Francisco 49ers, not dismayed by the heat or the smog or the smoke or the Rams, and they're leading 10-0.
This home could be a lot like yours. It's a home that's losing heat, wasting costly energy. It needs Pink Owens Corning fiberglass insulation. In the attic, under unheated floors, and in the outside walls. Stop paying to heat the whole neighborhood. Get Owens Corning fiberglass insulation now. It's cheaper than oil.
Some guys never learn. They're still taking it on the chin. Gotcha. Norelco offers the Norelco rotary razor. Not 1 or 2 blades, but 36 blades inside 3 adjustable floating heads and a unique shaving angle for a very close shave without a nick or cut. So say hello to the Norelco rotary razor and say goodbye to Gotcha.
9 plays, 37 yards, a 32-yard field goal by Ray Wershing, and the 49ers lead the Rams 10-0. 8 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the first quarter. Wershing kicking off and kicking deep. It'll be Drew Hill handling it on the 5 to the 15. Hit it, dropped at the 20. And Bobby Farrell, who played his football here at UCLA, was the first man down to drill him. So Drew Hill from Georgia Tech, unable to get anything back, gets it to the 20-yard line, and the Rams will take it over 1st and 10 on their own 20. The scoring, San Francisco's Gerard Williams intercepting a Pat Hayden pass, and finally went in with Wilbur Jackson carrying from the 2. Later on, a 32-yard field goal by Ray Wershing, and it is 10-0 San Francisco. Hayden from the 20, pitching back to Cullen Bryant. And Bryant is hit and down at the 25. Willie Harper, among others, Gerard Williams, Scott Hilton coming in for the hit. So they picked up 5, and that'll make it 2nd and 5 from the Ram 25. George, are there certain things that you don't do in hot weather as far as devising plays?
Well, I don't think you need a lot of motion and moving around. I think you conserve your energy. The Rams just have to play bread and butter football.
2nd and 5 from the 25. Cullen Bryant and Wendell Tyler are the setback. Second man, Wendell Tyler. Hilton will bring him down. Hilton, the left side linebacker, hitting him at the 27.
All right, let's watch number 55, Hilton, on this play. Takes the block around with his left arm, gets rid of him, comes in and makes the tackle. Nice play by Scott Hilton.
Hilton did not go to college. He played semi-pro in Pennsylvania, and he was the last cut by the Eagles in '78. And he's played well for San Francisco. 3rd and 2 on the Ram 28. Jesse is wide right. Hayden rolling right and hitting Cullen Bryant. And Bryant takes a hit from Hilton low and Gray high, but he still has enough and picks up the first down.
That's a good call by Pat Hayden. 2 yards to go. Send your fullback in the flat. Very difficult to cover. And he has the option of running for the first down.
So Cullen Bryant, who's a big man anyway, he took a pretty good lick from Tim Gray, but Bryant, 6'1", 234. And it's 1st and 10 on the Ram 32. They picked up 4 yards on the pass play. Hayden to Cullen Bryant again. And Bryant will be buried as he gets across the 35 to the 37. And among others, Hilton and Harper and Buns, all 3 linebackers.
Here's Danny Bunce. Let's watch him. It's a quick pitch. He kind of overran it a little bit. Bryant's so big and strong that once he gets underway, he's going to make 2-3 yards just with his power.
So it is 2nd and 5 on the Ram 37-yard line. Jesse is right, Willie Miller left. They split the backs, and they're Tyler and Bryant. Hayden looking to the right side, throwing out to Ron Jesse, and Tim Gray wraps him up at the 40-yard line.
Well, Pat Hayden's doing the things now that the Rams do well. Run the football first and throw short passes, picking up 4 and 5 yards. This is a big drive for Hayden and the Rams.
He picked up 3 yards on that. So it is 3rd and 2, the ball on the Ram 40. There's another score. The Bears got out in front, but Dallas coming back to tie it up 7-7. And Seattle is on the scoreboard, leading Oakland 7-0 in the first. So it is 3rd and 2 from the 40. Hayden looking down the right side. Good catch by Ron Jesse, but was he in bounds? No, sir. He was out of bounds.
Same play from a different set. Roll out. Pass first, run second. Good call.
However, Ron Jesse running out of bounds going after the pass. So it is 4th and 2 from the Ram 40. Hayden has been stymied, and Ken Clark, who's been averaging 38 yards a punt, his longest 53. He's 31 years old, even though this is only his first year. Ken Clark will be kicking from his own 30-yard line. Freddie Solomon and Tony Dungy deep on the 49er 20-yard line. And it's an end-over-end kick handled by Solomon. And Solomon on his feet at the 30 goes to the 33. Eddie Brown, who is so quick in handling punts, was quick getting down onto one but missed him. So it'll be 1st and 10 San Francisco on their own 32. 49ers 10, Rams nothing.
Weekends were made for Michelob. Weekends were made for steak. special friends. It's the time to have that smooth and mellow beer. It's Michelob.
Every weekend is really a little vacation at the end of the week. And doesn't that call for Michelob?
Weekends were made for Michelob.
Yeah. Honey, is this homeowner's insurance high?
I don't know. Think it's too much?
How would I know?
Compare with Allstate.
Compare?
Bring in your policy and compare rates. If you have a good deal, we'll tell you. But for many, chances are we've got a better deal.
We've got a better deal.
Allstate might save you some money, but you'll never know until you bring in your policy and compare.
Oh, that's a good deal.
When you want to save on homeowners insurance, Allstate wants to help.
That's a promise from us. The good hands, people.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, don't miss the Great American Truck Race, when over 20 big 10-wheel diesel rakes battle for the checkered flag. Then from 10 wheels to 4 wheels on the U.S. Roller Skating Championship. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
The 200-mile Great American Truck Race, that ought to be a dandy, coming up on the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Talking about dandies, that's San Francisco. 1st and 10 on their own 32. O.J. Simpson, Randy Cross trying to block. Jack Youngblood got him from behind, and when he tried to turn away, he turned into Bob Brzezinski and Jim Youngblood, and O.J. goes down at the 30-yard line.
It's again what I said. You aren't going to circle. You aren't going to sweep this Ram defense. They're too quick. Youngblood, right across, forced them deep. They lost yardage. You got to go straight ahead on them. Fast traps, that type of thing.
O.J., by the way, has not scored a touchdown at the Coliseum in a regular season game since his college days. He did run 73 yards with Buffalo, and then last year he had 83 yards here. 2nd and 11 from the 31. O.J. gets a couple of yards, barely. They are not doing one thing that, George, I know you would love to see, and that would be some screens giving O.J. a chance to maneuver.
Yes, I was going to say that before. They haven't run many screens in the 2 games we've done. I think with a good Ram pass rush, the Rams are set up for a screen. Here we got another score. Tampa Bay 21, Green Bay 10 in the 4th quarter.
And we'll be seeing Tampa Bay and the Rams next week, Coach. That ought to be a good one. 3rd and 8. From the San Francisco 34, Solomon is left. Schumann wide right. Clark is in there on the right side. DeBerg looking over the middle to Schumann, off his hands, a little bit behind him. Schumann, Mike Schumann, trying to one-hand it, couldn't do it. So the Rams stiffen, and the 49ers will have to punt.
Here's a matchup between Fred Dreyer, 89, and Singleton, the offensive left tackle. Dreyer's an outside rusher, quick, comes around him, but Singleton has done his job. Pushed him outside.
And now Dan Melville, who's averaged 41 yards so far in his 2 games, the rookie out of California. He'll be kicking from his own 23-yard line. Harper in there to block for him, and the good kick handed by Eddie Brown at the 23. And Brown is to the 40 and upended by Phil Francis, but there might be a foul on the play.
There's a clip. There's a flag.
So Eddie Brown being congratulated there for a moment by Gerard Williams as he comes off the field. Don't forget Monday night on CBS. What a lineup. The White Shadow, everybody's favorite MASH, WKRP in Cincinnati, and finally Lou Grant. That's Monday night right here on CBS. Red Cashin is the referee. Red walking over towards the Ram bench, so let's wait and see.
Number 82 of the kicker's illegal downfield. Clip by number 52 of the receivers. We'll play it over.
So they will play it over. Bob Brewer, a tight end for San Francisco, was quick in getting down an eligible man downfield. And George Andrews, who is the first-round draft choice of the Rams out of Nebraska, was guilty of the clip. And so Dan Melville will have to kick it over again, actually punt it.
There's more replays, more penalties on the kicking game since we changed the rules than ever before. Let's watch Eddie Brown on this next punt. He's one of the best. I think he's an all-pro. Watch his technique. Any kids watching, watch Eddie Brown's technique on catching this ball. He makes a basket. One leg is forward if the ball slips through. He puts the ball away and looks it in.
He doesn't allow the ball to hit the shoulder pads or a thigh pad or anything like that.
Just cushions it right in there. Real fluid hands and arms.
Of course, you had him in Washington. You know him as well as anybody. So Melville trying again. Low snap and a rush, but Dan Kuhl under fire. Got the punt away, and Brown a fair catch at the 27-yard line.
He did the right thing. Fair catch. He puts his hand up a little bit. The ball was sailing. Tough catch.
1st and 10 on the Ram 27.
There it is again.
So the Rams, who have not been able to really do very much, they had a 3rd and 2 on their own 40 when Jesse went out of bounds on the pass and had to give up the ball. Will put it in play on their own 27, 1st and 10. Bryant and Tyler, Miller in motion, and Jesse on the right side. Wendell Tyler out to the 30-yard line. And, Coach, I tell you, he dares you to take the ball away from him.
If we can see this again, the Rams use motion to change the strength of the formation. Watch Tyler wave that ball around.
You know, when he played at UCLA, he played with a broken wrist, and he feels that's why he was a fumbler. But look at this.
Now, look at that. Anybody that goes for that ball or his elbow is going to get a fumble.
Ted Vincent out of Wichita State falling on him. 2nd and 7 from the 30-yard line.
348! 348! Hot! Hot!
Hayden looking right and springing it out to Tyler. They set up a little screen for him, but he goes nowhere. Gerard Williams came up along with Willie Harper and made a good play.
Willie Harper is playing great football in the games we've covered. Watch him come across and turn this in, and then make a good hit on him, and good pursuit by 86, Hardiman. 49ers are playing great defense right now.
So it is 3rd and 7 on the Ram 30. And Hayden needs a big play. He's down 10-0. 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Jesse goes right with Willie Miller in a slot right. Preston Denard all alone on the left side. Hayden under a rush. Got away from Dwayne Board, but Board came back and got him a second time.
Now, Dwayne Board has helped this football team. Dwayne Board is more active than Reuben Vaughn. Dwayne Board's played good football the last couple of games. Hayden is a little bit dizzy. He's hurt there a little bit.
Dwayne Board, a 5th-round draft choice by Pittsburgh, who runs the 40 in a little over 5, is 6'4" and 241. And even though he missed Hayden with the first shot, he came back and got him.
And that's the secret, Vinny. Keep coming. Don't stop. Keep coming.
So it is 4th and 20 on that big play by Dwayne Board. And Ken Clark will have to kick from his own 5-yard line, and he gets it away. Freddie Solomon at the 45, now to midfield, and fumbles. And the ball goes out of bounds, even though Osteen had a chance for it, and Osteen is furious because that ball bounced right between his hands.
You know, Clark's punt, again, was a line drive. He had a 2.9 hang time. He's not kicking well. He's hurrying himself.
Freddie Solomon shot-putted that ball.
49ers are getting a couple of good breaks.
They sure are, and they have the ball 1st and 10 now on the San Francisco, on the Ram 43-yard line.
Let's see what their strategy is here. It'll be very interesting.
Ken McAfee, the tight end on the left side. Paul Seal, the tight end on the right side. And Brewer, so they have 3 tight ends in there. Jackson and Simpson, the running back. And it's O.J. trying to go outside. And Elmendorf and Brzezinski chase him, and they're sure going the wrong way.
Denny, I just don't think you can get outside in that Ram defense. Now, they might get outside with a guy like Owens, someone like that, who's a racehorse. Their chance in the running game is suckers, draws, straight ahead, then play-action passing, and a little drop-back passing.
Let me ask you something. What can you build off sending O.J. wide? Do you have any alternative now to lead the Rams anyway?
Not too much. unless you're going to throw an option
That's
pass.
what I was wondering
option
about.
pass.
2nd and 7. The ball on the Ram 40-yard line. O.J.'s out of there. Elliott is in there with Jackson. In motion goes Schumann. DeBerg looking down the left side, and it's a first down, and the reception by Freddie Solomon, and he went just under Rod Perry. The first down on about the 32-yard line.
Quick pass, 5-step pass, a stop pattern, which is good offensive football. Very difficult to defense. Didn't pick up the first down, I don't think.
It's going to be awfully close. Steve DeBerg, so far 2 for 6 for 9 yards.
Well, I guess maybe he did.
Pat Hayden 3 for 6 for 7, and that was enough for the first down. Solomon just able to beat Rod Perry, and Perry coming off a little shaken up, and the Rams can ill afford to lose Perry, an outstanding cornerback. In his career, he's had knee surgery and a broken thumb, and he had 8 interceptions last year. So Osteen, Dwayne Osteen out of San Jose State is in there, double threes. And that's where the ball is on the 33, 1st and 10. DeBerg, what kind of a flip to O.J. was that? The 49ers come up with a very strange give-off.
I tell you what, the 49ers, this series, if the 49ers can score in here, a touchdown, not a field goal, they should realize right here this could be the ball game for them.
You know, Coach, DeBerg made a drop as if he was a left-handed passer.
Yeah, I think they fouled up on that play.
Oh, yeah.
There's a mix-up there. San Diego 13, Buffalo 6 in the 2nd quarter.
Meanwhile, for San Francisco, 2nd and 10 on the Ram 33. A strange drop and a bad pass by DeBerg. Now you have O.J. as a flanker. Schumann goes wide right, and O.J. is in motion. DeBerg has got his man just shy of the 20-yard line, and that's Freddie Solomon again.
Benny, another stop pattern. See, they're easy to throw, they're quick passes, and they're tough to defense.
And it's a first down. They'll spot the ball on the Ram 21, so he picked up 12 now, and DeBerg has them moving easily.
Yes, I like what DeBerg's doing. They just got to keep doing that now. This is a vital series for them. If they want to stage an upset today, if they get a touchdown here, the Rams are in trouble.
I tell you, it's 10-0 San Francisco with 3 seconds to go in the first quarter. And there goes the gun for the first quarter. So the word goes around the National Football League. San Francisco up to its old tricks against Minnesota, against Dallas, and they're doing it here in the Coliseum. On a field goal and a touchdown, the 49ers 10 and the Rams nothing.
If we could take you through the plant to show you what is new, and let you see what's going on, and watch the things we do. If you could see the cars and trucks we're working on for you, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
If you knew how much money we're spending every day for factories and people to help us find the way.
If you could see tomorrow the way it looks to us today, you'd say incredible. Ford, that's incredible. Ford, that's incredible.
Introducing the incredible Ford Factory Tour. Come and see the things we're doing to rethink, redesign, reshape the automobile. Incredible things to produce a new generation of more fuel-efficient cars and trucks.
If you could see tomorrow.
How'd you like the tour?
Incredible! Say incredible! Ford, that's incredible!
To take the incredible Ford Factory Tour, write us for information.
It's the start of the second quarter. San Francisco leading Los Angeles 10-0, and the 49ers have it 1st and 10 on the Ram 21, so a very big series for the 49ers. O.J. Simpson and Wilbur Jackson in the backfield. Schumann right, Solomon left. It's O.J. Simpson, and he gets to the 20-yard line, so maybe gained a yard.
let's watch number 53, Jim Youngblood. Holding his own, not overrunning the play, putting his shoulder in there, making a tackle.
So it is 2nd down and 9. O.J. Simpson picking up 1 yard, and a very tough buy it was. You have Mike Schumann going wide right. Solomon is left. Paul Seal is the tight end on the right side. Simpson and Jackson back at DeBerg. And O.J. was moving for sure, and then drops the pass. But O.J. Simpson was way illegally in motion. There was no doubt about it.
That comes from 2 things, lack of concentration and not playing.
Meanwhile, we can duck in a score. Tampa Bay leading Green Bay 21-10 in the 4th. And Houston leading Kansas City 20-6 in the 4th.
You can't make mistakes, offensive mistakes in this area.
Red Cashin for the pronouncement.
Illegal motion, number 32 on the offense. Penalty is declined. It's 3rd down.
So 3rd and 9. On this abortive pass play, O.J. dropped it for good measure. And you can see the flag. He was in motion long before the play. And Nolan Cromwell right there to ride herd on him.
Nickel defense for the Rams. Eddie Brown is in.
3rd and 9 on the 20. The Niners go slot left. Schumann inside Solomon. And the Rams were moving. DeBerg going deep in the corner. And it is knocked down by Elmendorf. But there was a lot of motion in the line, and we'll see if the Rams are offside or if the 49ers drew them off.
DeBerg's cadence drew the Rams off. It looked like he went quick, and then he hesitated. They've been going on a quick count. He went on about a 3 count that time.
That would be a feather in DeBerg's hat to pull this veteran defensive forward wall offside. And Red Cashin ready to march off the 5 against the Rams.
Jackson had that ball for a moment. Watch right here. Lost it.
So it'll be 3rd and 4.
89 and number 85 of the defense.
So Dreyer and Youngblood, Jack Youngblood, were offside. 3rd and 4. The ball on the Ram 15-yard line.
Benny, your good pass rushers usually are offside like that. Dreyer and Youngblood, the 2 guys that are the quickest, usually get offside.
Schumann wide right. Solomon goes left. McAfee, the tight end, and the blocking tight end on the right side. Lenville Elliott running into John Ayers and still got the 1st down, but fumbled, and the Rams recovered. Lenville Elliott had fought for the 1st down and coughed up the ball.
Well, he was also carrying the ball loosely. And I said this was a critical series for the 49ers.
Pat Thomas is the man who recovered it.
Elliott did a heck of a job here fighting for the extra yards. They had poor ball handling on the play. See how the ball's kind of out there exposed? Now the helmet and the shoulder comes in and jars the ball loose. Big play for the Rams.
Big play. The fumble by Lenville Elliott. The Rams recover. It is 10-0 San Francisco.
I never worry about what brand name part my mechanic puts on my car. That doesn't make me a bad guy. I go to a professional mechanic I can trust, so I trust the parts he uses. He uses Mopar. It means nothing to me, but it means a lot to him. Mopar fits all American-made cars, foreign cars too, and they're used by professional mechanics all over the world. If the professional trusts Mopar, I trust Mopar. Does he make me happy? He makes it his business.
Trust your car to Mopar.
1217. Now boarding at
Mark?
Ann!
It's been ages.
Can I buy you?
Allow me. 2 Michelob Lights.
Michelob makes a light beer? Perfect.
The good taste of Michelob Light. Don't just compare it to other light beers. Compare it to your regular beer. It's that good.
You always did go 1st class.
Your ticket to San Francisco.
Thank you.
San Francisco?
You too?
Good taste runs in the family.
Big play. The fumble by Lenville Elliott. There's the loose pigskin. And in the right-hand side of your screen, here comes number 27, Pat Thomas, to recover for the Rams. The Rams have it 1st and 10 on their 9, and they move it out to about the 11-yard line. A pickup of 2, where it will be 2nd down and 8. Colin Bryan making the carry.
Now what we have here, the Rams offense has to get going. They have to get out of the hole. The 49ers defense, their job is to make them punt. Don't give them a 1st down. Let them punt out of the end zone.
The front four for San Francisco, Reese, Vincent, Webb, and Hardman. They've got to put the pressure on. 2nd and 8 from the 11. Hayden to the left side. And Willie Miller is taken down immediately. Gerard Williams, who is already an important man, number 29. And Willie Miller hurt on the play.
Gerard's going to help this football team. He's got size and speed. He's a good athlete.
Willie Miller is the kid who fought so valiantly in Vietnam, won a Silver Star, a Purple Heart, and the Soldier's Medal. He was a free agent in '77 out of Colorado State, and we certainly hope that he's okay. 10-0 San Francisco, 13-19 to the half.
There's a problem in this country that has cost American business billions of dollars in losses, as well as far greater human losses between man and woman, parent and child, and country. And that's the problem of people not knowing how to listen. And why should we? We haven't been taught. With all of the great education this country has to offer, we get no fundamental grounding in the thing most of us spend about half our time doing, listening. Well, as one of the world's major corporations, we at Sperry are doing something about it. We've set up extensive listening programs that Sperry employees worldwide can take part in. Sales representatives, computer engineers, and even the chairman of the board. These programs are making us better at dealing with each other. And when you do business with Sperry Univac or any of our other divisions, we think you'll find they're making us better at dealing with you.
Sperry, we understand how important it is to listen.
Next Saturday, see the 1979 Woodward Stakes live from Belmont Park. You'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
This is something I never allowed my players to do, to sit on their helmets. If they're tired, they go down to one knee. The helmet is not made to sit on.
They give Pat Thomas that choice since he just recovered the fumble. On a 3rd down call, we'll see what Hayden comes up with. Looking to the right side, but going out that way, and he's got his man, Wendell Tyler. And Tyler down at the 31-yard line, and it's a big first down for the Rams. Penalty marker, however, on the field, way back in about the 15-yard line, so hold everything. The offside San Francisco, so the play will count.
Hayden does a great job.
First down.
Hayden does a great job of mixing his cadence. Later on, we'll get his head and watch his cadence. Listen to it if we can. He'll pull him offside 2 or 3 times every game.
Pat Hayden is 5 for 8 for 28 yards, while Steve DeBerg is 3 for 9 for 28 yards. Billy Waddy is wide right. Preston Denard wide left. Second man, Wendell Tyler, John Williams blocking, and they jam it up. Cullen Bryant and John Williams blocking. That's a lot of beef on the hoof.
Yes, and again, the 49ers are keeping Wendell under control so far. Good pursuit, pretty good defense. What they're set up for now is a reverse. If the Rams pull the reverse, the way the 49ers are pursuing, they'd have big yardage.
And they have a couple of men who can fly in Preston Denard at Billy Waddy, number 80, if they decide on an end around. It'll be 2nd and 8 on the 33. Miami has come back to beat Minnesota 27-12. That's a final, even though Bob Greasy was hurt in that game. 2nd and 8 for Pat Hayden on the 33. Hayden going deep off the hands of Preston Denard and out of bounds. Gerard Williams over there to defend.
If Pat Hayden did a good thing here, Gerard Williams was playing for an interception. Now watch Hayden throw the ball high, overthrow him so he can't get it.
And he almost had Denard. Denard had both hands on the leather but couldn't quite hold it. So it'll be a 3rd and 8 from the Ram 33. 12 and a half minutes to the half. San Francisco leading Los Angeles 10-0. Jesse is back in. They go slot left with Waddy in the slot. And now Waddy comes the other way. Hayden under a little pressure, and he's going to be swallowed up by Jimmy Webb. Webb is not usually the man who's involved in the sack. and it was Vincent and Board who put the heat on, and Webb made the tackle.
Sacks are a combination of good coverage and good rush, and that's what the 49ers had. Hayden didn't have anyone to throw to downfield.
Second sack against Hayden. Ted Vincent had gotten him earlier. Now Webb gets him. And so Ken Clark will be punting from his own 20-yard line. Kevin McLean is back there to block. And deep for San Francisco, Dungy and Solomon. Solomon at the 37, and he retreats. Now to the 45, to midfield, and goes out of bounds. Pretty good play after retreating.
2.9 hang time. Clark has kicked 3 line drives.
He's lucky he hasn't been burned more.
That last play, the ball went right through his hands and hit his chest.
So it'll be 1st and 10, San Francisco, on their own 49, leading 10-0.
It's Ford Truck Week, the biggest clearance offer in Ford truck history. The best-selling trucks of the 70s must make way for the new 80 Ford trucks. Previously announced factory incentives to Ford dealers make lower prices possible, so you can save hundreds on tough Ford V8 pickups, tough Ford V8 vans, tough Ford Broncos and Rancheros too. Save hundreds on the best-selling trucks of the 70s until the introduction of the 80s. See your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week.
You know, trying to run a Major League Baseball club isn't all fun and games.
The pressure's always on. And for guys like us, there's no off-season.
So when you wheel and deal as much as we do, you can't afford to get filled up.
That's why we drink light beer from Miller. It's got a third less calories than their regular beer, and it tastes great, too.
How about that trade? How about throwing in Bud Harrelson?
Let's see, Bud Harrelson, Gates Brown, and Mudcat Grant.
Right, for 2 Blue Powells and a Ferris Payne.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I want a Frank Malzone.
The front four, Freddie Dreyer, Larry Brooks, Mike Fanning, and Jack Youngblood, and a lot of heat on them. The 49ers take over 1st and 10 on the Ram 49-yard line. Lenville Elliott is in there with Wilbur Jackson, Mike Schumann in motion to the left, and DeBerg going to put it up. No good, and he got a lot of heat and took a pretty good lick from Bob Brudzinski.
See, what the Rams did, they dogged on that play. It was a quick pass, about a 3-step pass, and DeBerg was still lucky to get it off.
Last year, you might remember that Bob Brzezinski picked off a pass from DeBerg and went 31 yards for a touchdown. He's replacing Isaiah Robertson and doing a fine job. Tampa Bay defeats Green Bay 21-10. We'll be seeing the L.A.-Tampa Bay game next week. DeBerg to O.J., spinning, still spinning, and what a marvelous gain considering he should have lost.
All on his own. Did that all on his own. This shows O.J., the great athlete that he is. Some of the old O.J. coming back.
Look at Jim Youngblood missing. Eddie Brown finally coming from behind and got him at the ankles. And by the way, O.J. Simpson has carried the ball now 11 times.
3rd and 5.
The ball is on the Ram 44-yard line. San Francisco leading 10-0, 11:24 to the half. Solomon is left. Brewer is in a slot right inside Schumann. Jackson in motion to the right. And they flip to Jackson and they throw it out of state. Dave Elmendorf over there to defend. Actually, DeBerg didn't just lead him. He finally had to get rid of the ball, and some more good pressure that time by the Rams.
The Rams defense is taking over now. The 49ers are wasting field opportunities, field position. It's going to catch up with them.
They're leading 10-0, but it is reasonable to say they could lead at least 13-0 and maybe even 17-0 because Lenville Elliott fumbled on the Ram 9-yard line, or they might have had a 1st and goal. So Dan Melville will be punting from the San Francisco 45. Eddie Brown is deep, along with Sid Justin, number 31. And Melville angling for the side and doesn't get it. Kicks it to Justin, who fumbles, and San Francisco. Nope, hold everything. The ball's still loose. The indication now, the Rams. It looked like a white shirt fell on it. And the man who came so close was Bob Brewer, number 82. There's the fumble by Sid Justin.
Sid Justin shouldn't be back there.
The ball gets away from Hill, And Brewer looked like he had it, and then it got away from Brewer.
Brewer overran it, overslid it. 49ers should have had that ball. And Justin shouldn't be back there.
So the Rams put it in play, 1st and 10 on their own 7. The last time they had the ball, it was on their own 9. Cullen Bryant. And he is scissored at the 10-yard line. Tony Dungy coming up from a strong safety to get in a look and bring him down.
You know, Cullen Bryant's always making yardage. You very seldom see him hit for a loss.
There's Tony Dungy. He's a free agent with Pittsburgh in '77 and the only free agent to make the team. Last year, he led the Steelers with 6 interceptions. He knows the ball. He has the feel for it. He was a quarterback in college at Minnesota. 2nd and 6 from the 11. Wendell Tyler with Bryant blocking. And it seemed like Tyler, in trying to make a cut, fell down in front of Doug France at the 10-yard line.
They're stopping.
He's perfect 4-0, and he has 6 touchdown passes against them. His best game last year was against San Francisco.
Yes, it was. Here's a big play coming up here.
3rd and 5 from the 12. Long count, and the 49ers might have been coming up and moving. Doug France, however, might have come out of his stands, and that's what it's going to be. He drew San Francisco off style.
Benny, the 49ers dictated to the Ram offense. They're dictating to him.
Doug France came up, and of course he's a 5-year man out of Ohio State, 2 times in the Pro Bowl, all pro, and that's a big mistake for a big man.
False start, number 77 on the offense.
So it is 3rd and 9, and the ball is back on the Ram 8-yard line, and this is indeed a big play for Hayden now. Waddy is right, Denard is left. The pass for Waddy. And he is making the reception at the 27-yard line. A big play and a clutch first down.
We said it was going to be a big play. It's a big play for the Rams. The 49ers stop them. Now they have great field position. Perfect throw and a fine catch. Look at that.
Waddy right there. The pass just over the defender's head. And that's Charles Cornelius, who doesn't figure to play corner, and he's been burned. Vince Ferragamo, backup quarterback to Hayden, taking in things. 1st and 10 on the Ram 27. He's going to go deep after that first fake. Billy Waddy out of bounds. Out of bounds. And again, Waddy had a step on Cornelius.
Well, they're going to have to help Cornelius. Here's Hayden going for a touchdown the first play. Putting Waddy on Cornelius deep. Caught the ball out of bounds.
We might also interject here that Melvin Morgan, who should be playing the corner, is out with a bad foot. So Billy Waddy, who's a speed burner, he caught a 68-yard touchdown pass last year from Hayden. That was the Rams' longest pass. There is Melvin Morgan, 4-year man out of Mississippi Valley, an 11th-round draft choice by Cincinnati. Doesn't look like he's going to play, and they'll miss him. 2nd and 10 on the Ram 27. Hayden to Cullen Bryant. End of story. And picked up by the right side linebacker, Scott Hilton, and then Willie Harper. They put the pinch on him. Harper doing an outstanding job.
He's been playing great ball the games we have done. I like Willie Harper. He's an all-pro linebacker. Let's see if the Rams go to work on the left corner again. Let's see if they work on Cornelius again.
Okay, and it's time for it. It's 3rd and 12 on the Ram 25. 9 minutes to go to the half, and the 49ers leading the Rams 10-0. They load up the right side. Hayden has Waddy open, and he dropped it. He had beaten Tony Dungy. Billy Waddy was wide open and dropped it.
Hayden also had plenty of time to throw. Look at him.
There's Dungy in the middle, number 27, and here comes Waddy behind him.
I tell you what happened. Hayden went on a quick count. They were supposed to jam the outside man. They didn't jam him. Houston beat Kansas City 20-6. Final score.
4th and 12 on the Ram 25. Ken Clark line drive kicks, and he's been lucky he hasn't been burned too badly. And this is a low-flying kick. Freddie Solomon at the 38 to the 45 to midfield and into Ram territory. Down he goes. Eddie Brown made the tackle. And the 49ers, again, in excellent field position, will have it 1st and 10 on the Ram 48 with San Francisco leading Los Angeles 10-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Ladies and gentlemen, protect your engines. The same way 31 out of 35 of this year's Indy 500 drivers do in their everyday driving with Valvoline motor oil. Because stop-and-go driving can punish your engine as much as 500 miles of speedway driving can punish an IndyCar's engine. And Valvoline can take the heat, protects your engine, helps make it last. Ladies and gentlemen, protect your engines with Valvoline. It's not just for winning races.
Can you name a life insurance company that gives you a discount just for being healthy? Guess. Allstate Life.
My Allstate agent already gives me a discount on auto and homeowners insurance. Now with their new Healthy American plan, he's giving me a discount on life insurance. Because I don't smoke and I pass the Healthy American physical.
What's that company again? Allstate Life. See your Allstate agent.
Get in good hands for life.
It's the World Series of Golf, September 29th and 30th. World-class players shoot it out for the title in the World Series of Golf. You'll say you saw it on CBS Sports.
From the Firestone Country Club in Akron, Ohio, the World Series of Golf, September 29th and 30th. 1st and 10 on the Ram 49. San Francisco leading 10-0, 8:40 to the half. Elliott in motion to the left, and DeBerg's going to put it up. And low on a bounce intended for Freddie Solomon. Osteen and Reynolds were there anyway.
And, you know, DeBerg had him open, and he also had the protection that time. But he's been rushed the last couple of series, and he hurried himself.
Bad news for the 49ers when you realize how fortunate they have been, how almost every break has gone their way, how their field position has been magnificent, and they're only leading 10-0.
Right. Denny, that's exactly right. If they lose this ball game, it isn't going to be the plays at the end. It's going to be the failure to take advantage of this field position.
So it is 2nd and 10 on the Ram 49. Simpson, the deep back behind Wilbur Jackson. O.J. going right. Tried to cut back and goes down just about at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard. That's the 12th carry for Simpson, and he's averaging just about 3 yards a carry.
That pitch to Simpson was a little bit behind him. He had to wait for it.
So O.J. coming off the field as the back shuttle. 3rd and 9 on the 48 of the Rams. Temperature in the high 90s, but it does not feel quite as oppressive because there is a breeze, although perhaps not much down on the floor of the Coliseum. It was 97 degrees on the floor of the Coliseum at the start of the game. 3rd and 9 from the 48. DeBerg has his man, and it's Lenville Elliott at the 40. He had to get to about the 38, however, and Elliott a little hot, which is easy to get today. Not enough for the first down. That was a 3rd and 9. He missed by about 1.5 yards.
Here's one you have to consider here a little bit. You got to think about this one.
And Walsh gambles so much, it certainly wouldn't be a surprise if they went for the first down.
It's 4th and 1. You're ahead.
7:27 to the half. A lot of time.
That's it. Take time out. Think it over. Talk it over. Don't just run something because it's a vital call right here.
Which, by the way, is interesting to point out with all the heat, humidity, smog, and what have you. That's the first timeout we've had.
A play that's a good offensive play in this situation is a rollout with the option of running or passing. Pick up the 1 yard. But DeBerg is not that agile.
Well, they have a minute to come up with the winning play, and we've got 60 minutes. Big Sunday here on CBS. Not only our first NFL doubleheader, but Mike, Morley, Dan, and Harry are back, television's most shining hour, and 3 brand new stories. You certainly won't want to miss the season premiere of the most watched broadcast of its kind in television. 60 minutes, proudly right here on CBS after NFL football. The crowd in the high 50s, about 55,000, I believe, tickets were sold. Whether that many came out or not remains to be seen. This series The Rams have won 37, San Francisco 19, and there have been 2 ties. But the Rams have won 5 straight and 15 out of the last 17. In fact, the last time San Francisco beat Los Angeles was in the first meeting in 1976 when they shut them out 16-0.
Benny, they just came in with 3 tight ends. That's run or play action. Run the football or play action.
So with 3 tight ends, that means Brewer, Seal, and McAfee. Let's see the play. It's going to be Lenville Elliott, and he's not going to make it. No way. So Lenville Elliott tried to go outside. Jim Youngblood strung out the play and brought him down. And the 49ers really have to rue the fact that they've been unable to cash in so many big mistakes.
I don't like that play. I don't think you can run wide. I think Elliott's a fine back, but I don't think he has the speed to go wide on this Ram defense. Very few people do.
In fact, you mentioned that you felt San Francisco was on a treadmill going the wrong way with O.J. Simpson going wide.
You aren't going to sweep a good defense like the Rams.
Lawrence McCutcheon, number 30, makes his first appearance of the day with Elvis Peacock. Denard is left. Waddy is right. And he's buried on a safety blitz, and make it the linebacker, Willie Harper, who came in. So it was Harper, number 59, on the blitz, and the 3rd sack for San Francisco.
They were very lucky on that. They called a safety blitz. Pat had a play action. Nobody picked him up. Big play.
Dropped him at the 31, so it'll be 2nd and 20. What do you got in that San Diego-Buffalo game, George?
Halftime score, San Diego 13, Buffalo 12.
Vin Scully along with George Allen from the Coliseum. 2nd and 20 for the Rams on their own 31. So Hayden has a lot of yardage to get. Whistles and a flag, and let's see.
Well, Pat's starting to go in quick counts to nullify some of the rush. Sometimes that hurts your own ball club. It did.
Sure did, George. You picked it off immediately. Meanwhile, Vince Ferragamo, 3-year man out of Nebraska, wondering about his opportunity, just when it will come. And Pat Hayden sputtering here. On the other side, there's Joe Montana. Remember, we saw him come out of the field goal fake, out of the hold, and complete a big pass that led to the eventual field goal. 2 young quarterbacks waiting in the wings.
Let's see if they try to go to work on Cornelius over here, the left corner.
2nd and 26. The ball on the Ram 26. Hayden going deep down the middle. No good. It was intended for the tight end, Charlie Young. Tim Gray right there with Big Charlie.
Tim Gray should have had an interception on it.
Gray shaken up. He is 205 pounds. Charlie Young is about 235. And that 30-pound advantage was felt that time by Tim Gray.
Well, he exposed his body. See, Tim Gray went for an interception, exposed his body, and Charlie Young plowed into him.
Gray, a first-round draft choice, traded by St. Louis to Kansas City, and now shaken up. And, of course, the 49ers have had so much bad luck in the secondary, they can only afford to lose Gray.
No, they can't afford to miss him.
Eddie Lewis has not played yet, and Lewis has been burned.
He's
so you have Eddie Lewis coming in now, number 22. Lewis was burned notably, of course, number 22, against Minnesota, and then again against Dallas. 3rd and 26 from the 26. McCutcheon and Peacock are in there. Hayden deep down the left side, no good. Intended for Ron Jesse. Climbing the ladder was Charles Cornelius. Jesse is 6'1". Cornelius is only 5'9". He had to get up there, Coach.
The 49ers came in with just a 3-man rush that time. Pat had plenty of time to throw the ball. Had them all covered.
So 4th and 26 on the Ram 26. Dungy and Solomon going deep. Ken Clark will be punting from the 15, and remember, he's been punting line drives. And this time he hangs one. Solomon backing up to the 22. Looking for help. There is no help, and he goes down on the 22. That must be a desperate feeling to be looking for a block. The crowd reacted first to the fact Clark got a punt high, and then they reacted to the good coverage, and Ken Clark shaking his head a little sheepishly as he comes off the field. Next week in the NFL on CBS, these games: Atlanta, Detroit, Green Bay, Minnesota, Washington, and St. Louis. And then the second game of the doubleheader: Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, San Francisco, Philadelphia, and the Giants. Next Sunday, CBS with the NFL.
52-yard punt, Benny. That's more like what Clark can do.
First good one for him. 1st and 10 for San Francisco on its own 23. Play action fake, end around to Solomon. And Freddie Solomon gets it out to the 28-yard line. So Freddie Solomon, who knows how to handle the ball. Solomon was a quarterback at Tampa. And there's a flag on the play, and it's a legal procedure against San Francisco to spoil the play in the game. He had picked up 6 on that.
Well, that's what happens in a lot of those plays. You send a man in motion, the ball handling, the timing has to be perfect. It was a good call. See, now the 49ers, for the first time today, have bad field position.
Number 67 of the offense lined up off the line of scrimmage. Still be forced down.
So that's Ron Singleton, the tackle on the left side, lining up off sides. And they're going to stack up that running play across the 20-yard line. There's Ron Singleton, number 67, trying to take out Freddie Dreyer.
Yeah, here's Singleton working on Dreyer. Dreyer is light and gets a little criticism that he gets bounced around. But he still holds his own and piles the play up. They only made a couple of yards.
2nd and 12 on the San Francisco 21-yard line. The Rams have never had the ball in what you would call good field position, but if the defense holds, they might finally get their first shot at the 49er goal line. 2nd and 12 on the 21. DeBerg to Lenville Elliott, who is knocked out of bounds. It was one-on-one with Bob Brzezinski, and he goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. They picked up 5, so it'll be 3rd and 7. Big game in the great indoors with Dallas leading Chicago 10-7 at halftime. The Bears were first on the scoreboard. Then Dallas came back to tie, and now they forged ahead. Well, it's not completely indoors in Dallas. Let's say they have a hole in the roof. Bill Walsh with his young 49er team leading 10-0, but they have blown opportunities to make it even bigger. 3rd and 7. DeBerg to Lenville Elliott, and Larry Brooks swallowed him up immediately. Big number 90 just dropped on him at 6'3", 255, coming back from knee surgery. Larry Brooks makes the important stop.
Larry can do two things. He can play the run and still rush the passer. You're not going to fool him in the middle too much. Now the Rams will have field position for the first time.
And they're going to turn a terrier loose with Eddie Brown, the veteran punt man. He'll be around his own 40-yard line. There's Eddie. Dan Melville will be doing the punting, and Melville has done one. He'll be kicking from about his own 15. The Rams are coming, but he got it away. Eddie Brown, a fair catch at the 40, then make it about the 37-yard line where they'll spot it. And the crowd booing Brown.
Well, the reason Eddie signaled for a fair catch is the Rams tried to block that punt. They had everybody up, and usually that's the smart thing to do. Now, Eddie might have had a little time, and you see that? They didn't get in. Everybody up.
Pat Thomas almost got in. He's on the ground. He came in from the left side. Preston Denard came in on the right side. But Eddie Brown, since he didn't have any blocking, wisely calling the fair catch with 5 minutes to the half, and the Rams putting it in play. 1st and 10 on their own 37. Waddy is wide right and Denard left. Peacock will carry behind John Williams. And Peacock gets almost to midfield, out to the 49, a pickup of 12 and a first down. Elvis Peacock, the first-round draft choice last year out of Oklahoma. He had knee surgery following an injury in the 3rd preseason game. And At Oklahoma, he scored 29 touchdowns and carried for an average of over 6 yards a carry. So look out for him.
Hayden's going on quick counts, which is kind of offsetting the 49ers. Again.
And here goes Peacock again. And he's into San Francisco territory, pulled down at the 47-yard line. Elvis Peacock is playing with Lawrence McCutcheon hurt.
McCutcheon's in there.
Yeah, he's been in and out of there, as McCutcheon didn't figure to play very much. He has a hamstring and a bad leg. He didn't start. It was Cullen Bryant and Wendell Tyler. Now it's McCutcheon and Elvis Peacock, although we don't expect McCutcheon to do much carrying. 2nd and 6 from the San Francisco 47. 10-0 San Francisco, 3:47 to the half. Peacock is at the end of that little screen. And he's going to be dragged down inside the 40-yard line. So Elvis Peacock, they've been waiting for him to get some action, and now he's getting it.
Well, they got a drive going now. This is good football. 49ers are rushing pretty well. That's one of the things we talked about, their pass rush against that Ram offensive line. They're putting pressure on Hayden.
So it's 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 38-yard line, as Elvis Peacock has suddenly given the Rams a big boost. 3 minutes to the half. Jesse is wide right, Denard wide left, McCutcheon in motion. Here comes Peacock. And Peacock is tripped up as he goes across the 35-yard line. Tim Gray, the safety, was coming up, and McCutcheon picked him up and turned him out of the play, and that helped them pick up a few yards. There's Gray going back to his position. So picked up 4. That makes it 2nd and 6 on the San Francisco 34-yard line.
See, the Rams have done all of this with their running game practically. They had one dump-off pass. This is just bread and butter football, slugging it out.
2nd and 5 on the 34-yard line of San Francisco. Hayden scrambling, looking, gonna run out of bounds and gets out of bounds before Willie Harper can hit him. Harper running him out just inside the 27-yard line. So he picked up 7, and that would be enough for a first down.
That scrambling around wears out the big defensive linemen. Their legs get a little bit heavy in the 4th quarter, chasing a scrambling quarterback on a hot day like this.
The 1st and 10. There's Terry Nelson, the tight end. Nelson not playing. Charlie Young has been in there. And Young is in there on the right side right now. The pass by Hayden, no good. Gerard Williams and Preston Denard, they were bumping together, but both were bumping in legitimate pursuit of the football.
Here's some bad news. Terry Bradshaw injured, taken off on a stretcher. Pittsburgh 7, St. Louis 15.
So the 2 bulletins so far today we have. Bob Greasy was hurt in the Miami game and had to come out. Now Terry Bradshaw is injured, and the more they legislate, it seems like the more injuries, despite the rules. Tough break. So it is 2nd and 10 on the 27.
We hope it isn't serious.
Oh, I pray for that. 2 minutes and 7 seconds to the half. 10-0 49ers. But the Rams are on a roll. There's a pass intended for Denard, low and behind him. Dan Bunz and Cedric Hardman putting a little pressure on Hayden.
Part of that is that Hayden saw they were going to blitz. He saw they were going to dog, and he wasn't sure they could pick it up. He threw the ball in a hurry, threw it short, threw it low.
The linebackers and the safeties are stunting a little bit. First it was Gray going up and then falling back, and Bunz moving in. And it seemed to cause Hayden to rush it. So it's 3rd and 10 on the 27 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to the half. Denard is left, Jesse is right. Young, the tight end, on the right side. Peacock and McCutcheon behind Hayden. Hardiman was moving on the play. And Hayden has his man Charlie Young to the 10, to the 5, to the 4. And I'm pretty sure the penalty was against Cedric Hardman. And if so, the Rams take the play in a 1st and goal.
Charlie Young looked good on that coming across. He's a tank when he catches that ball.
It's declined, of course. There's Cedric Hartman, number 86, in the upper right-hand side, and he encroached.
Number 86 on the defense. Penalty is declined. First down after 2-minute warning.
So at the 2-minute warning, the Rams were in a can't-miss situation. They're on a drive. San Francisco 10, Los Angeles nothing.
You're seeing some real tough truck pounding. At Ford's Arizona Proving Ground, we've been testing body and suspension components over a tough durability course for more than 20 years. Truck jarring bumps, mud bats, salt bats, frame twists, uphill poundings. And Ford pickups with twin I-beam suspension are built tough to take it. See all the tough Ford pickups at your Ford dealer now. During Ford Truck Week.
If you're looking for a light beer with all the taste of your regular beer, your search will end with Michelob Light. The good taste of Michelob Light. Don't just compare it to other light beers. Compare it to your regular beer. It's that good.
Good taste runs in the family.
Yeah. Charlie Young, the big tight end for the Rams, making a clutch reception. He's playing over Terry Nelson. Nelson had caught 4 passes going into this game, and Young had not caught a pass. But it's Charlie Young making the big reception. It's first and goal on the San Francisco 4. 1:56 to the half. There's another number that is prominent, only prominent in playing, number 34, Elvis Peacock. So Nelson isn't, and Peacock is, and so is Charlie Young.
The 30 seconds will be kept on the field.
Evidently, some mechanical problems. They'll keep the 30 seconds on the field, George.
We've had that every week.
Every week. They'll have to move these games to Switzerland to get the watch fixed. At halftime, Seattle 10, Oakland nothing. The Rams in a first and goal on the 4. Terry Nelson, the tight end about whom we've been speaking, is back in there on one side. Charlie Young on the other. Jesse, Peacock, and McCutcheon out of a T formation for the moment. Now only Peacock is back, and in motion goes McCutcheon. They're not going to give him the ball today. Play action fake to Peacock. The pass to Charlie Young. Touchdown. So Charlie Young, who had not caught a pass this year, takes the touchdown pass from Hayden.
Well, this is a good call. Nobody really covered him. Linebacker Willie Harper was the closest guy to him, but he didn't have a chance.
I think they all went for the fake on Peacock, too.
And it looked like they were trying to blitz in there, anticipating the pass.
Charlie Young, traded to the Rams in the Ron Jaworski deal to Philadelphia, comes up with a touchdown. Now the point after by Frank Corral. He has kicked 28 in a row. Make it 29 from last year to the present. So with 1:52 to go in the half, San Francisco's lead and big opportunities are dwindling like the days in September. San Francisco 10, Los Angeles 7, 1:52 to the half.
That's the first time Pat Hayden's had good field position, and to his credit, he took advantage of it.
He certainly did. As you look at Frank Corral, he had 25 straight point afters, and he's 4 for 4 this year. Bill Walsh now trying to encourage Steve DeBerg to get back the momentum. And San Francisco had the biggest play, I would think, was the fumble by Lenville Elliott. They were leading 10-0. It looked like they might very well score again to make it 16 or 17-0. Lenville Elliott fumbled the ball, and the Rams recovered on their own 9. And even though the Rams didn't do anything with the ball from 4 more different possessions, it was still only 10-0, and they finally did score, and so they're just a field goal behind. That fumble by Elliott will be bothering San Francisco the rest of the day.
As we said at that time, that could have turned the game around and put them in the position where they're 17-0 and really put the pressure on the Rams.
The 152, Frank Corral kicking. It is James Owens and Lenville Elliott deep. And the kick will be to Lenville Elliott, and he will keep it in the end zone. So they'll put it in play. 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 20 with 1:52 left to the half.
You know, on his kickoff, he only takes about 5 steps. He's got a powerful leg.
Interesting, too, about Corral. He has kicked off prior to today 8 times. 4 resulted in touchbacks, but the other 4 have been returned for an average of almost 19 yards a carry. But this time, no return. 1st and 10 on the 20. So Steve DeBerg trying to mount some kind of a drive with 1:52 to the half. 10-7 San Francisco. Juggled and caught by Solomon at the 23-yard line. That ball was thrown hard. Freddie did a good job to hold on to it.
There was a quick pass, and DeBerg had a delivery sack on him. That's how hard the Rams are coming in there. Watch this.
Fred Dreyer.
They're right in there on him. See, he's feeling the pressure on this.
Look at the reaction of Solomon fighting that thing to the death. He picked up 3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7 on the San Francisco 23. O.J. Simpson has carried the ball 12 times in this first half, and it might be now that they are going to rest him for the remainder of the half. O.J. standing behind Bill Walsh and Steve DeBerg on the far side of the field.
Normally, I didn't want to start my 2-minute offense this deep in my own territory. We just played standard football.
What's the bottom line as far as you said that deep? Where would you start?
We'd start around the 35, unless it's, of course, a 4th quarter and you have to have it. Because you don't want to take any chances. You don't want to give them something here now and go in tied or behind.
Steve DeBerg is 6 for 17 for 44 yards. There was one other pass out of the fake field goal. Joe Montana passed once for 8 yards. So it's 2nd and 7 on the San Francisco 23. In motion, Mike Schumann. To Solomon at the 30-yard line. Osteen and Thomas sandwiching him, and that's very close to a first down. Just depends on where they feel he went down. It is inches one way or the other.
If I were the Rams, I'd stop the clock.
And it's a first down. So 1st and 10 on the San Francisco 30. Little release to Elliott, and he can't hold it. And again, DeBerg was belted by Jack Youngblood, and that's one reason why that pass was off in a hurry. There's Youngblood getting up.
Watch Jack, one of the top pass rushers in all of football. Look at him use his hands, keeps coming, he beats him to the inside, and
actually, Jack Youngblood got the worst of that safety sack because DeBerg went down on top of Youngblood, and Jack was very slow in getting up. There he is, huffing and puffing. Jack Youngblood, 9 years out of Florida. The captain of the defensive squad, 6 straight Pro Bowls. He owns a health club. There are a lot of people here who can use it. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Heat from Fanning, the pass to Schumann. Schumann to the 35, out of bounds at the 37-yard line. He had to get to the 40 for the first down.
Mike Schumann, driven out of bounds at the 36-yard line by Jack Reynolds.
Look at those hands, George. A lot of tape.
Yeah.
Is it to prevent perspiration and help him get a better grip?
I think part of that is, but I also think he must have a bruise there. You wouldn't want that much on.
There's Mike Schumann going close to a first down. It'll be 3rd and 3. Look at that hand again.
Well, that's due to an injury.
Yeah, for sure. DeBerg play action fake, getting pressure from Jack Youngblood. Youngblood was able to eat up Keith Farnhorst.
Well, That's right. It's one-on-one. It's Youngblood versus number 71, Fawnhorse. And Youngblood beats him. Very few people are going to block Jack Youngblood one-on-one. That's what they did against Denver.
And Fawnhorse last year was rated the best offensive lineman for San Francisco, but Youngblood able to beat him and pull his man down. By the way, we talked about Terry Bradshaw being hurt, and we are happy to say Bradshaw has just, and we use the word just advisedly, a bruised right knee. He may return to the game, so that's in good news.
Good news. Now, I would think the Rams will go for an all-out punt block here.
It is 4th and 13. The ball is on the San Francisco 27-yard line. Danny Melville has done well, but they will put the pressure on him. And Eddie Brown is standing on the Ram 35-yard line. But, of course, if they put that all rush and Melville gets it away, Brown doesn't figure to have too much of a return. George, you got a score?
Yeah, St. Louis 15, Pittsburgh 7 at the half.
Because Bradshaw is incredible. It seems so many times that he plays better when hurt.
I list him the most physical quarterback in football. He's tough. He plays with bumps and bruises.
4th and 13, and all the heat will be on Danny Melville. We'll see if the Rams are coming. They have 10 men on the line. Here they come. And Melville gets it away. Eddie Brown on his own 30. Gets away to the 40. And pushed out of bounds by Willie Harper at the San Francisco 47-yard line.
Yeah. Great play by Eddie Brown. Really great play. Here's a punt returner that is not a racehorse. See how he softly caught that ball, flew it. Watch him make this move right in here and find the opening. He sees his blockers. He uses his blockers. He doesn't have great speed, but I think he's the best in the league.
5-year man out of Tennessee as you look at Dave Elmendorf. Elmendorf, one of the keys in that great Ram defense, a strong safety out of Texas A&M. 1st and 10 on the Niners 47. Hayden over the middle to Lawrence McCutcheon, and McCutcheon is down at the 39-yard line, and the Rams with 44 seconds to the half and time running, trying to go into the clubhouse at least even. 2nd and 2. Hayden to Peacock. To the 30. To the 25. To the 20. 15. 10. 5. And out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Elvis Peacock.
Well, Elvis has shown the ability that made him a #1 pick.
What a running.
He didn't play last year. With Peacock coming around, that just makes this team even stronger. Look, he's got size and speed. Actually, the 49ers didn't play very good defense on him either.
So it is 1st and goal from the 1. 24 seconds to the half. 10-7 San Francisco, but from the looks of things, you better look at it. It's not going to be that way long. Hayden has McCutcheon and Bryant. Young and Nelson, the tight end. It'll be Cullen Bryant. Touchdown.
'49ers are kind of going down now. Bad defense there.
The air coming out of the balloon. So it is 13-10 Rams as Cullen Bryant punches it over from the 1 after that magnificent 46-yard run by Elvis Peacock.
Bad spacing on defense. See, 1 first down by the 49ers offense prevents this. It isn't just this, and this is what sometimes the players and people forget.
Now the point after for Corral. He has a string of 29 straight. The kick is up. It is good. 30 straight for Corral, and the Rams leading San Francisco 14-10 with 21 seconds left in the first half. An excellent return by Eddie Brown, and then the marvelous run by Elvis Peacock for 46 yards, setting up the 1-yard touchdown. A disillusioned Steve DeBerg and a somewhat chastened Bill Walsh for the 3rd week in a row, getting out in front of a team they didn't figure to beat, and what is more important, for the 3rd week in a row, surrendering that lead.
And you know, Benny, you've lost so much. They won 2 and lost 14 last year. They've lost this year. You figure no matter what the score is, somehow or another, you're going to lose a ball game. So you're playing, not necessarily to win, but you're just playing football, sometimes playing to lose.
Here's a big story. With 9 minutes to go in the third quarter, Joe Ferguson just hit Curtis Brown on an 84-yard touchdown pass, and Buffalo leading San Diego 19-13. Corral kicking off. 21 seconds to the half. James Owens and Lenville Elliott are deep, and Corral hits it on the ground. Juggled, picked up by Bobby Farrell, who played here for UCLA. Farrell to the 30. A block by James Owens, and he goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Bobby Farrell making the return on that squib kick.
Here's what the Birds should do. He's got time for 2 plays. There's 13 seconds. He should keep 7 blockers in, send 2 men deep, and go for 2 bombs. They need something. They need a big play to give their ball club a lift as they go back in at halftime. It's going to take
first and 10.
It's going to take leadership now to get them to come around.
13 seconds left. It is 14-10 Rams. DeBerg is 8 for 18 and 58 yards. And he has to hit 2 in a hurry. Solomon is inside Schumann on the right side. Seal on the left. He bumps into Lenville Elliott. Throwing and has his man Schumann. No catch. So it is not a case of a recovered fumble. It was an incomplete pass. Stops the clock with 4 seconds to the half.
It's difficult for DeBerg to roll out. He's not very agile.
No, and he bumped into Lenville Elliott, one of his backs, and that also added to the complications. So Bill Walsh, with 4 seconds left, coming up with 1 more play. And he'll send in Clark, Dwight Clark, a rookie out of Clemson, number 87. 2nd and 10 from the 37.
Here's where he should throw a bomb.
Hope for interference.
Worst you can get out of it is incomplete pass. Overthrow him.
So this should be the last play of the half. 2nd and 10 on the San Francisco 37. Schumann in the backfield now in motion. Elliott in the slot left. DeBerg is submarined by Reggie Doss.
Clothes from Levi's Sportswear. Levi's slacks, blazers, and suits hold their great looks because they're sewn to the tough standards that made the Levi's name famous for durability. Men's clothes from Levi's Sportswear, where quality never goes out of style.
Now, Ford, the long-distance champ, has the longest range of any pickup in America and the best pickup MPG. With a standard 19-gallon tank plus optional tank, you've got a 39-gallon capacity, which gives it an estimated range with optional overdrive transmission of 709 miles. Based on EPA rating, the estimated highway range is 946 miles. 1/3 the length of America on 1 fill-up. See the long-distance champ at your Ford dealer now during Ford Truck Week.
Natural light beer, please. Actually, I guess you're supposed to say, give me a natural or make it a natural. Okay, so I'm a maverick. But, you know, I just walked out of a bar because they didn't have natural light beer.
You must have been humidified.
So was I.
I empathize with you. You know, Kevin, without the smooth, clean taste of this light beer is downright unnatural.
You know, that's so true. That's why I came in here for a natural. There you go. I just said natural. It goes to show you. I guess you hear something so often, you naturally just follow along like a flock of sheep. Monkey see, monkey do.
Next Saturday on the CBS Sports Spectacular, don't miss the action when over 20 drivers in their big 10-wheel diesel rigs pull into Atlanta International Speedway for the Great American Truck Race. Then go from 10 big wheels to 4 little wheels as JoJo Starbuck co-hosts the U.S. Roller Skating Championship, featuring men's defending champ Lex Kane and top women's contender Joanne Young. Roller skating as you've never seen it before. Next Saturday, you'll say, you saw it on CBS Sports.
Back live in New York, I'm Brent Musburger. Terry Bradshaw injured his knee. He is out of the game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They trail the St. Louis Cardinals. Quarterback Kenny Anderson of Cincinnati has been hospitalized with a back injury. We do not know how serious that was. And it was Baltimore and Cleveland. Late in the game, the score is tied. Brian Sipe goes to his tight end. Ozzie Newsome down the sideline. Ozzie gets loose, out of bounds, finally at the Baltimore 15-yard line. Then it is Don Cockcroft. Never misses when it counts. 13-10, Browns with the lead, but time for the Colts, who are desperately seeking their first victory for Teddy Marchibroda. Greg Landry goes long. Out of bounds, it looks like it's over, but unsportsmanlike conduct roughing the passer against Alzado, and there is still time. 28-yard field goal attempt for Tony Linhart. He had missed twice earlier in the game. Tried to right himself, was wide again, but a yellow flag fell in front of the Cleveland bench as Linhart headed off the field. His coach, Teddy Marchibroda, tried to send the field goal unit back, saying there's the flag. The official agreed. But unfortunately, it was after the missed kick, so it was assessed as Cleveland got the ball and ran it out, and Baltimore is still winless. Now, let's take you around the league and get you up to date on all of the scores. Final, Jane, the New York Jets over Detroit, 31-10.
Kevin Long with 3 touchdowns for the Jets to compensate for their disgrace last week.
Philadelphia and New Orleans. The Eagles win it 26-14.
The barefoot rookie, Tony Franklin, kicked 4 field goals for the Eagles, and Brent, he now has 6 for 6 for the year.
Baltimore and Cleveland, the score I just reported. Browns win it 13-10. And in overtime, it was Denver 20, Atlanta 17.
A 25-yard field goal by Denver's Jim Turner won the game in overtime despite 325 yards passing for Atlanta quarterback Steve Bartkowski.
Jane, speaking of that embarrassment, it was New England that handed it to the Jets, and they win again today, 2014 over Cincinnati.
Steve Grogan threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to Stanley Morgan for New England. Ken Anderson was hospitalized, as you said early, with back problems, and replaced was Jack Thompson replaced him.
The throw-in Samoan. Tampa Bay 21, Green Bay 10. The Bucks are 3-0.
That's 3-0, as you said, and they now lead the NFC Central.
All right, Houston over Kansas City, 26 is the score. The story there, Danny Pastorini was injured. Gifford Nielsen replaced him, and he threw a touchdown pass. Also a final score in Bloomington, Minnesota, Miami 27, Minnesota 12.
In the second half, quarterback Don Strock replaced the injured Bob Greasy and threw for 2 touchdowns to lead Miami to a come-from-behind victory.
St. Louis and Pittsburgh, the Steelers without Terry Bradshaw. 15-7 at the half, St. Louis leads it.
Surprisingly, the Cardinals are dominating the Steelers in the first half, but the word is that Terry Bradshaw may be back in the game.
San Francisco, Los Angeles, the game you're watching. The Rams strike back late in the second period. 14-10 now there the score. The Rams over the 49ers, but the 49ers are doing well under Walsh, aren't they? And the Bears have just gone back ahead of the Dallas Cowboys. 13-10 is the score there. Tony Dorsett has fumbled 3 times. His third fumble set up the go-ahead touchdown. And in a wild game down the coast in California, San Diego 20, Buffalo 19.
Buffalo has taken the lead in the second half on an 84-yard touchdown pass. Joe Ferguson to Curtis Brown, and Clarence Williams with 3 touchdown passes in the seesaw battle, his last one from 55 yards out.
Seattle leading Oakland. They stung the Raiders twice last year. 10-0 in the third. Steve Largent has caught a 40-yard touchdown pass in that game, and they're ahead. And the NFL Today will continue on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
Carol Burnett portrays a successful woman whose affair with a married man and a middle-aged pregnancy turns her world upside down. The 10th Month, Sunday night.
This is CBS.
first game of a doubleheader. St. Louis 4 and Montreal 3. So the Pittsburgh Pirates have an opportunity to pick up a full game as they take on the New York Mets. It's the first inning. Maddox is at bat for the Mets, and watch what happens. Candelaria, the Pirates delivers. Slam into right center field. Dave Parker goes over from right field, but the ball falls in. And Maddox pulls up at second base with a double for the Mets. Now it's Lee Mazzilli on a tear, hitting 17 straight games. Now it's 18, and here comes Maddox. It's 1-0, and the Mets go on to win it 3-0. Pirates lead Montreal by a half game. And in the American League, Milwaukee defeated the California Angels, and Frank Tanana, 2-1 was the score there. A lot of overtime games in the NFL this year. We had one down in Atlanta this afternoon. It was the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. Let's go down and check in on Norris Weiss, the Bronco quarterback. The old bootleg, he runs it in. It was 7-0 after Jim Turner's extra point. Bartkowski rallying the Falcons, looking for Alfred Jenkins. Ball is tipped and caught by Jenkins. Trailing by 7, Bartkowski pulls out. Waits with good protection, and it's Wallace. Francis, touchdown, extra point, tied it at 17. Time running out. Mazzetti can win another one for Lehman Bennett, but this time the magic fails. Misses. 32-yard field goal, no good. Overtime. Now Weiss looks for Haven Moses. And Moses races through the two defensive backs and sets up a third down field goal by Jim Turner. 2017, that's usually the score that Atlanta wins by, but today they lose by that margin. The Jets were winless, embarrassed last Sunday against New England, taking on the Detroit Lions and a rookie quarterback by the name of Jeff Comlow, a 9th-round draft choice out of Delaware. Comlow waits for Dave Hill over the middle. It was 7-0 Lions early, but Richard Todd finally found Wesley Walker. Walker was shut out last week. He's as dangerous as any receiver in football. Between the two defensive backs, he gets down to the Detroit 15. Kevin Long barges across for his first touchdown. It tied it at 7. And again, that combination. Todd, this time Walker working the sideline. It's a beautiful pass from Richard right there. And he gets down to the Detroit 7-yard line. It'll be Kevin Long again. And the Jets take the lead. 14-7 is the score. Then in the second half, Todd knows who's got the hot hands. Wesley Walker, this time 30 more yards along the near sideline. That set up a 2-yard touchdown run by Scott Durking. It was 24-10, and school was out for Detroit. Little frosting here, 31-10. Kevin Long, 3 touchdowns on the day for the Jets. Irv, how about your Philadelphia Eagles in New Orleans? Hey, that Wes Chandler can play, can't he, down there for the Saints?
Well, he's exciting. But, you know, it was all Philadelphia today, though, Brent, because Ron Jaworski had a hot day. They went down to the Superdome and defeated the Saints by a score of 26-14. Ronnie himself, number 7 here, hit 12 for 23 for 181 yards. Here he hits his running back, Robert Montgomery, for a touchdown pass. Just before the half ended, the Saints needed a big play, and they came up with here. Wes Chandler, you're talking about, Brent, and there he is making one-handed grab, goes in for the Saints, and at halftime the score was 13-7 Philadelphia. But the Eagles came back in the second half and totally dominated play. Late in the fourth quarter, Jaworski pitches out to Billy Canfield. He scampers around his right end, goes in, and the Eagles wind up winning the game 26-14.
All right, the Dallas Cowboys have taken the kickoff after Chicago scored, and they get back down to the 12-yard line. So we'll keep you up to date on that score in the second half. Right now, let's send you back to the Coliseum and Vin Scully.
Here in the booth at halftime at the Los Angeles Coliseum, the Rams, down 10-0, came from behind to lead 14-10, and there is the familiar countenance of John Madden. John, welcome to the Coliseum. More important, welcome to CBS and to the broadcasting booth.
Well, thank you very much, Vinny. It's a joy to be in both places. This is the first time I've ever watched a football game from a press box, and it looks like a different game. When I was a coach, I was always on the sideline, and then to be up here, it's really a different look. It looks like a different game. I yell at the officials, they don't even turn their heads.
You are also an odd coach because in the pressure days when you were running the Raiders, you always found time before the game to go up and have a cup of coffee in the press room. I can't think of another coach who would do that before a game.
Well, you know, I really knew what we wanted to do, and I felt I was an emotional guy, and I felt if I would get down inside the locker room with my players, I may put a little extra pressure and nervousness on them. And I felt if I could stay away and relax, it would be a more benefit to us.
Well, next week, John Madden will be doing the San Francisco-New Orleans game with Bob Costas. And, John, are you ready?
I think I will be next week. This is the first time, but it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it.
Well, I know one thing. CBS is delighted. We have a lot of winners, and particularly now by the names of Hank Stram, John Madden, and George Allen. I guess that's about as much football brains as you can get in any one room.
It's nice to be on their side. You know, Hank and I battled for years when Hank was at Kansas City and we were at Oakland, and of course George when he was at Washington and LA, and it's nice to join them and all be on one team.
Well, we're delighted to welcome to the club John Madden, and that's halftime here at the Los Angeles Coliseum.
New car prices got you on the run?
Get a Hertz, get a Hertz, get a Hertz. Get a Hertz, get a Hertz, get a Hertz. Get a Hertz, get a Hertz, get a Hertz. Get a Hertz, get a Hertz.
Get a great car buy at Hertz Buy a Car. We sell only the best cars from the Hertz Rent-A-Car fleet, and we give you the complete service and maintenance records so you know exactly what you're getting.
Get a Hertz, get a Hertz, get a Hertz. Get a Hertz.
Hertz Buy a Car. Call toll-free for nearest location.
Radio Shack has slashed the price on one of our top-of-the-line stereo systems. Right now, save $310 on this impressive realistic hi-fi. You get this quality AM/FM stereo receiver, a pair of realistic tower speakers, and this precision belt drive turntable, all for only $579. A great entertainment bargain and a beautiful addition to your home. The sale-priced realistic stereo system, just $579, only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Roselle, Illinois, a small town west of Chicago that's a mix of old and new. And this is the newest. When they're done, these apartments will be completely heated and cooled by the sun. Hi, I'm Doug Plank of the Chicago Bears, and this is my wife, Nancy. You know what's even more remarkable about these new buildings? They're designed especially for the handicapped. Did you notice the light switches are lower than the ones in your home?
And some of the apartments are right-handed and others left.
Citizens of Roselle are getting ready for the new residents, changing curbs, adding stoplights, making it easier for them to come and go.
You know, the whole project was conceived by the Ray Graham Association, a United Way agency that was started by a group of volunteers.
Answers that work, not just because of technology, but because of people and a community that cares.
Thanks to them.
And thanks to you,
it works for all of us. United Way. Right?
Right.